Before I came out here to Career Tech Education and was the director principal here, I worked as a superintendent principal of a charter school, a small charter school. And in both of those environments, I've used this Chapman Foundation work. And I would really say that those experiences have been transformational for the teams that I've been a part of.
Actually had conversations with staff where we're discussing certain behavior or something that's going on in a classroom. At that training, they told me that their DISC survey they have this tendency. And I'm seeing that tendency in this, and that's hard for me because I'm task-oriented and they're person-oriented. Just the recognition going into a discussion, that really helps us because our staff is actually recognizing each other as human beings, individual human beings as well.
But one of the biggest things that I got was the relationship piece. What it's like to build a relationship. I think as a leader, as a teacher, you're a leader. I have 3 different jobs that I do throughout the year, but in all 3 of those cases, if it was a law enforcement officer, if it was a teacher, or if it was a coach, it all came back to building relationships. That's number 1.
They're talking about the connection and relationship they have with each other in a way they're saying, have never worked in an environment where I've felt as connected to the people around me and kind of in sync with our purpose and what we're trying to achieve.
It's nice to be able to communicate in an intrinsic way because we all care about each other and we know that we all care and we all cared before, but the feeling is a lot different now. Like we can definitely feel the connection a little bit more. We can feel how much more caring we have with one another and just in the different words that we now know what to use that we may not have used before.
But it just gives us all the same language as well.
What do you think that does for you?
Well, I think it puts everyone on a common ground. I feel like it kind of gave us all the same baseline. And it holds us all to kind of like the same expectation of what to work toward. I like that. It was valuable and it felt good to be invested in.
So a lot of times in organizations, we look at these tangible things that need to be accomplished. And we jump in and we start to try to do that work. But really, research shows us that we can't effectively do that work until we've created a culture and climate that supports that. That's what, the Chapman Foundation work has helped me to do in the school environments that I've been in as a leader, is to say, hey, let's focus on how we interact with each other and how we relate to each other so that we can then more effectively do the things that we know are a part of our day-to-day jobs. What I find to be really exciting about the work too is it's very explicit, it's very tangible. And I think as I've talked with my staff about that, they appreciate that. You can read a book or do something and you walk away, you're like, well, what do I do with this? And I think that's one thing that's really great about the Chapman Foundation work is it makes it easy for people to really clearly understand what are the steps that they need to take to grow in those areas.